Very good afternoon, dear students. Uh, Today we are going to discuss about the further step in law of wall, or how to model the wall in computational fluid dynamics. My dear students, as we discussed in our last lecture about the modeling of wall, how the wall of any surfaces is going to affect in the behavior of the fluid flow, which is the very important kind of a parameter, you can say, in any fluid flow dynamics. The effect of the wall, or the region near the wall, how to capture that wall to understand the behavior of the fluid which is flowing over that particular surfaces. Okay, for that particular purpose, I already told you that two kind of phenomena basically we are going to discuss about it. One is your no slip phenomena, and second is your slip phenomena. Okay, so here, as in no slip phenomena, we are going to discuss about the fluid flow velocity near the wall. When we are solving our problem in using computational fluid dynamics, we are assuming that the velocity component relative to the wall in the wall region will become zero in no slip conditions. Here again, in your slip flow conditions, whereas we are considering the some kind of velocity is available in fluid particles which is flowing near the wall region. Okay, so depends upon our study, depend upon the level of a turbulency, how we can capture that wall region. We can select no slip region and no slip flow and slip flow conditions for our fluid flow behavior in computational fluid dynamics. Okay, my dear students, here you can see that I am showing you the graph of the law of wall, which we have seen in our last lecture about it. You can see here again what the laminar sublayer, and after that the buffer layer, and after that the turbulent layer. Okay, so you can see is that the graph is between your the velocity profile and the distance from the wall of that particular fluid flow particle or fluid layer. Okay, so it's a logarithmic kind of a graph we have seen here. So this is again, you can see at that in this particular graph that higher Reynolds number, the viscous dominated layers is so thin that it is very difficult to resolve it. So as you know, the kind of as Reynolds number is going to increase, as you know that the largest will be the Reynolds number, of course the turbulence in that particular kind of a flow will be large. So whenever or wherever the Reynolds number is going to increase, it means that the turbulence will increase and it's too difficult to solve that particular problem. That's why in computational fluid dynamics we have different types of the turbulent equations are available by which we can solve our these turbulent models or turbulent equations in computational fluid dynamics. Okay, so I hope you understand this particular. And here you can see that, here again you can see that in our next slide I will show, you can see that how to approach. There are different approaches followed by different researcher and investigator to capture that wall region, because in last lecture I told you people that to understand the concept of boundary layer. Okay, so why it is important? Because once you understand the concept of boundary layer, then you will know that there are a kind of different types of layers of fluids are available, layers of fluids are attached over surfaces. So we have the different types of layers are available, where you can see that the buffer layer region is there, the sublayer region is there. So how to capture those layers? Because to calculate the amount of turbulency in that particular small layers which is attached to the surfaces, it's very difficult. So how to approach is that, because the laminar sublayer is not resolved, so basically that's why the importance of discretization, that's why the importance of a meshing, that's why the importance of a discretization is very important in computational fluid dynamics. Okay, so for that purpose we have different conditions are available. We will discuss about it this particular this K epsilon model later. this is basically nothing but a two equation model. K is again a turbulent kinetic energy, and epsilon is a dissipation rate of a dissipation of a turbulent kinetic energy in that particular fluid flow domain. Okay, by using this particular two equation model, this is a two equation model, a two equation turbulence model, by which we can solve a kind of a turbulent problem in computational fluid dynamics. Okay, so now from a physical point of view, in when we are doing the wall modeling kind of a thing, when we are going to model a region nearby the wall, it is important because solid walls are the main source of vorticity and turbulence, large variation of turbulence and dissipations. Of course, we cannot deny the wall region, we cannot deny, of course our total focus is on the behavior of the fluid flow which is flowing inside that particular channel or over that particular surfaces. But again, if we are talking about a inner channel, so we can say that in inner channel you have to see that along the walls how the fluid flow is going to develop, how much kind of a velocity profile is developed, the turbulency or the eddies which is available around or near the wall we need to capture. So that is a real and an actual phenomena. We cannot deny this particular phenomena while solving a computational fluid dynamics problem. Okay, in engineering applications we can see that the wall quantities are very important in several applications. You can see here flow separation and reattachment are strongly dependent on a correct prediction of the development of a turbulent near walls. Okay, so basically in fluid mechanics we have a kind of a phenomena, the flow separation phenomena. Again I would request you to understand the concept of boundary layer when the flow is trying to separate from that particular surfaces. Okay, when the fluid is trying to separate from that particular surfaces, that kind of a phenomena is known as a flow separation. I will show you just one example by which you can understand the concept of that particular flow separation. I will just open it, that particular diagram to you, and I will give you an example how from where we can see that how the flow separation phenomena happens in fluid dynamics or a computational fluid dynamics. Okay, so my dear students, from this particular reason you can see that this is a a computational fluid dynamics problem solved here, and you can see don't go up for that particular diagram. You can see here that this is a direction from where the during the problem where the direction of that particular fluid is coming. Okay, this is the direction, means that you can see that this is the intake direction or the inlet direction for this complete geometry. Okay, now you can see that when this particular fluid is going to flow over this particular surfaces, you can see that after some particular time the fluid is going to go in a different direction. Okay, so my dear students, there are two main important points in any fluid. When the fluid is trying to flow over any kind of an object on any kind of a surfaces, if the fluid is flowing externally over any kind of surfaces, suppose you can assume that this is an object and the fluid is trying to flow from here. Of course the fluid will go in this direction also and in this direction also. Now you can see here that this particular point, this is a point where at the beginning or at inlet where the fluid is trying to strike that particular object, that point is known as a stagnation point, from where the fluid is trying to divide into two parts. This is a suppose circular body, and now you can see that the fluid is trying to go into two directions. Okay, now after that, after some point, after some period, when the fluid is trying to keep flowing over the surface, after some point, at some point it is trying to separate from that particular surfaces. That is a kind of a phenomena you can see that known as in fluid mechanics a flow separation phenomena. So one point at the starting is known as a stagnation point, where the fluid is trying to divide into two parts from that particular point, depending upon the geometry or the kind of shape of that particular geometry and object. And the flow separation phenomena where the fluid is trying to separate from that, the boundary layer is trying to separate from that particular surface. surfaces, that is known as a flow suppression phenomena. Okay, so